Hey there, welcome back friends. In our previous videos I have shown you both the approaches, how to configure or how to add jar files in our pom.xml in our Maven configuration, and how to configure the setup where the Eclipse version is a little bit older, how to get appropriate older version, and how to add Tomcat 8, which is not directly available these days. Now friends, the reason why I have shown you these two approaches because in our upcoming videos, these videos have been recorded earlier. As a result, the version of Eclipse is older, the version of Tomcat is slightly older, and there could be some compatibility issues when you will be loading the project files on your Eclipse. As a result, this setup, Eclipse with Tomcat 8, should work for you perfectly, where you can use the project files right away. I will recommend you guys to definitely follow step-by-step approach and follow the videos, take the knowledge out of it, but code it manually. Don't use the project files, code it manually, and you can take any approach. Either use the Maven approach where you can add the dependencies, or you can also follow the manual way how I have added individual jars and how I have shown you from where to get the jars moving forward. So a lot of interesting things are covered, and a lot of small little details are also covered in our next forthcoming videos. A lot of interesting stuff is definitely there. So having said that, first of all, let me show you how to add a dynamic web project. It is very simple. Simply click on File, New, Dynamic Web Project, and I will give this name Dynamic Web Project Approach. This is the lecture name. Let me click on Finish. Alright, the project has been added, and in here we have this src folder where we can add the packages and Java files. Then we also have this web content folder, and inside this web content folder we have a webinf folder and the lib folder. So whatever library the jar files you wish to add needs to be added in this lib folder. So take a note of it. And now let me pause this video so that I can add the Java files and view files in here, so that we have a sample project with us so that we can test it right away. Alright, so I have added the packages, the Java files. Moreover, we have also added the JSP files, CSS folder, all the stuff which we need. This is one of our projects which we have already built, and we will test the project, but as of now we don't have any jar files. So let us open up Google Chrome and let us understand what all jars which we will need to run this program. Alright, so let's open Google Chrome. So in here, first of all, Google for Spring repo. This means Spring repository. Alright, and this will give you a FTP site. Click on the first search result. It is from repo.spring.io, and you will get all the releases which are done by Spring. Now for sake of legacy distribution or displaying whether our application is working with older jars or not, I will make use of this version, which is version 3.3, right? And in here you will get couple of things. One of the zip file would be this release-dist.zip. This is the distribution zip file. So click on this and download will start. All the jar files required, or whatever be the jar files, will be available in here. Apart from that, servlet jar will be required. So let me quickly download it. In fact, we can make use of servlet and JSP API jars from Tomcat. I will also show you that. So let me pause this video. My internet speed is pathetic, so let me pause this video and let me configure with this zip file to start with, and then we will move forward and check whether additional zip files are required or additional files are required or not. So having said that, let me pause this video right away. Alright, the download has been completed. Let me show you the zip file. Let me extract it right away. This will take a couple of seconds. Now friends, this zip file will contain like numerous files. Let me show you. There would be like readme, notice, license, schema. We don't need it. Simply navigate to this libs folder and you will get a huge list of jar files. Now these are all the jar files which we need to get started with Spring. These are all the jars which we need. Now friends, when we make use of later version of Spring, the number of jars may differ. That is one thing. Apart from that, in here you will find one jar file like AOP, then there would be a Java doc jar, and there would be a sources jar again. Basically, you won't need these two jar. This single jar, which is the first release jar, is good enough, but for sake of simplicity I will simply copy these all. I will navigate to our Eclipse project and I will paste it inside this lib folder. Now friends, for example, you don't wish to add this in the lib folder. How to handle that is something I will again show you. So let me first of all paste it in here. Here we go. Now all the jars has been added in here. Fantastic. So at least now the Spring related jars are with us, but this is not enough. We need something extra. Now friends, apart from these jars, there is something more which we need to add, that is Commons login Maven. So indeed you can like click on this search result. In fact, we will not search for Maven. We will simply click on this, and this is giving me the download link from here. Alright, so Apache Commons login, Apache Software Foundation, and check for the URL. It says download_logging.cgi. This should give us the jars. So let me click on this. Let us check whether this will give the jars or not, and here is the jars. Alright, so we will go with the binaries. Click on this link and the download will start. Now based on my experience, Commons login is required, but it is not listed in Maven again. So for sake of completeness, let me quickly add this. First of all, let me do one thing. Let me show you the folder where we have this Commons login. Let me extract it, and here is the folder, and here is the jar files. Now Java doc is optional, but again let me add these two. Let me copy these and let me open up Eclipse and we will paste it here. Alright, so now we have also the Commons login. Now what next? Now in our previous lectures, let me show you. This is the exact project from our previous lecture. We were making use of something known as validator. Alright, now again we can easily make out that Eclipse is showing up a couple of issues, right? So these annotations are unknown because these dependencies are not added. So javax.validation.valid is unknown to Eclipse as of now. So now let us add the dependency for validations. So again I will Google for javax validation and we will make use of this jar keyword. So it would be like javax.validation jar. Alright, so now let me show you one small little thing. In here, if I navigate to this link, then this will open up Maven, which is good enough, and it will say that there is a newer version available again. So let me click on it, and it will show us this particular dependency, which is validation API. But this validation API or this jar is not enough. Even if we add this validation API, it won't work. The reason being, there are like additional dependencies. This is only one thing, but there is more thing to it. You can easily make out that if we wish to manually manage things, it is kind of little difficult, but in many scenario you have to, and in many scenario you may have to do these steps again. So something known as Hibernate Validator will help us in here. So simply Google for Hibernate Validator jars, and you will get the entire set from here. So it's from hibernate.org/validator/releases. Click on this, and you would be able to see couple of versions in here, version 5.4, version 6.0. Well, it is good enough. And validator for Java, Bean validator, okay, no, not a big deal, but you can easily make out that this Java versioning is very important. Version 5.4 is good for Java 6, 7 or 8, but version 6.0 is good for 8 or 10. So based on your Java version, select the appropriate version of validator. I will go with validator 6.0. So let me click on this, more info, and here you will get Maven artifact and those kind of stuff. Apart from that, you can also directly download the zip file. So you have couple of links in here, and you also have this download button. So click on this download zip archive, and it will start the download in any time now. So here is the thing that Hibernate is what? Hibernate is nothing but a huge thing. Hibernate has many things. So one of the thing is also Hibernate Validator, which will help us to validate. It will help us to implement these annotations into our code. So this is taking some time. Usually it doesn't take that much of time, and the download starts. Here we go. So download has started, and take a note of the name. Name is Hibernate Validator jar, right? So this is for validation purposes only. All right, so now the download has been completed. Let me show you the folder. Let me extract it here only. Here we go. And now check out this folder dist distribution, and now outside you will find these jars. These are good enough, but inside lib there are optional and required jars, and these are like dependencies, and we have to have these jars again into our what we say project, else there would be issues. So let me firstly copy these jars, paste it inside the lib folder. Here we go. Then I will navigate to required folder. Let me copy these. Let me paste it in here. And finally, to be even more safer, let me add the optional jars as well. Now friends, the reason why I have used this specific version of Spring, the reason being the videos you are about to watch in this section and moving forward are recorded earlier, and Spring 4.3.3 was the latest one back then, but you can definitely use the later version of Spring, for example Spring 5 version, and the application should work just fine. Alright, so as soon as I added these jar, you can easily make out that the errors just vanished. So that is again a very good thing. And let me check whether there is some kind of error or not. So I'm pretty sure that there will be some kind of error, and the error will be in your view files. Here we go. The reason being there is no JSTL support, right? So let me quickly add the JSTL jars. So let me Google for JSTL jars. Here we go. And for JSTL, we can directly go with the Maven way. Search result will give you the first search result from Maven repository. Click on the first link. All right. And now friends, when we check this out. You will also get this link to the jar files directly. So click on this jar and the jar will start to download. It will take a couple of seconds. Keep the file, open the downloads folder and copy this jar file, copy it and paste it inside the lib folder again. And as soon as we do that, again the error of the view file is vanished again. Alright, this looks good. Let me quickly check the build path. Alright, let me select all, order and export. Everything looks good. Apply, okay. And now let us try to run this on the web server. Alright, so you can easily make out that in order to manually configure stuff, it is a little tedious but can be done very easily. Now in these kind of projects where we dynamically configure, if you use this project into later version of Eclipse, there could be some configuration related stuff. So as a result, the recommendation is a Maven based configuration. Alright, so having said that, this is it. Alright, take care, have a nice day, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.